Good morning, this is Dr. Johnson at the SOHA Base Camp, Southern Oregon Habituation Area, and I am here with Mike Kincaid from the Bay Area. Yay! Go Hawks!
Sorry, 49ers.
Yeah.
We lost.
Toby Johnson. Yo.
No.
And Johnny Manson. Here's Johnny. Don't you be doing that I'm sleepy, I'm not talking thing. He's a radio DJ. The guy never shuts up. Okay, gentlemen. Last night, what happened? What do you recall?
It rained.
It rained? Yes, it rained. Okay, thank you. That was informative. The viewers will appreciate that. Anything else happen?
Well, there was ambiguous signs of, we'll just call it wildlife, on the perimeter of the camp.
Uh-huh.
And it was only ambiguous because of the constant pitter-patter of the drops. So
Yes.
It was a little hard for me to discern. What about you guys?
Some. Yeah, some of it was hard because of the rain.
Yep.
But others were more obvious to me.
What was more obvious to you?
Certain sounds that weren't rain.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like stick breaks and movement, but, you know, not a lot, but still.
Okay. Deal. Anybody else? Anything to say?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Toby, we are going to go check out the gifting bowls. Here's what I know. We certainly had more activity on the perimeter last night than we had the previous night. In the previous night, I believe we only had the juvenile female and the toddler, and the bulls the next morning reflected that. Not much was taken, but what was taken was precisely extracted and neatly extracted from the bulls. I think we had more movement on the perimeter last night. So I predict when we go out to those bowls, we're going to see more food extracted. Now, if anyone checked online with what Cynthia posted with the bull out in our backyard where we've had coons recently, the bull was hit and dragged off the porch and the food was scattered. Like I always say, when little critters hit the bowls, they make a mess. They move the bowl and they make the mess and they scatter the food. We've never seen that here. We also have a garbage bag on the back side of the camp stove that has always been there, okay, always been there for 7.5 years, and it's never been hit by an animal ever in this base camp, ever, okay? So I predict we're going to see more food extracted. The bowl's not going to be scattered like it was on the back porch. Food's not going to be scattered, and that means little critters did not hit the bowl. Let's go, Toby Johnson. Lead the way.
Go check it out. I think it's up here.
By the way, Toby is not related to me.
No, but Johnsons have to hang together.
Just in case somebody's sitting out there going, Johnson and another John, this guy's like your brother. He'll say anything. Well, yeah, he is my brother in Christ, but he's not my biological brother. Right?
Right.
Okay, thank you. So we're walking toward the gifting bowls. And what do we see? Go ahead and get on the other side of the bowls and squat down.
Well, it's vastly different than the way we left it here. I mean, there's a sense of an artistic quality to how you laid out these sandwiches here, and you can plainly see that something has pulled all these apart.
Pulled them apart and what?
Licked out the peanut butter. The peanut butter is completely missing off of that one, and I don't see any nibble marks.
You don't see any nibble marks from small critters?
I don't see any crumb marks. There's no external crumb marks on any part of this bowl out here, which when I've left out gifting bowls, there's constantly little tiny bite marks, especially from squirrels. A deer would even have to leave a few crumbs behind here, and there's no hoof marks here. I did see hoof marks down the trail about 150 yards from here, but there's nothing that I'm seeing to indicate that there was something here munching away.
No crumbs outside the bowl.
No. We watched you clean the bowls. We watched you take the bowls with, anal detail as far as making sure they're washed down with gloves and then rubbing alcohol. I saw the prints on the bowl beforehand, and then I saw the bowls were clean after you laid it, but it shouldn't be like this.
It shouldn't be like that, what? If what?
It should not be like this with your average forest critter out here. This is something with fingers, in my opinion, that grabbed these sandwiches and lifted them apart and then placed them back in here. I'm not seeing any thumb impressions though. Maybe on the sandwich there. I don't know. That kind of looks like an indentation. That looks like a finger swiped or a skinny tongue went across it right in there. You see that?
Yeah. Actually, it looks like it's kind of like down and then a ridge and then down. So you know how you got your bend in your finger like that?
That's really.
That's what I just took a picture of. That's very strange. That looks like a tongue going in all honesty.
That they picked it up and stuck their tongue in there, licked it out, and put it back down?
Well, come get a good video of this. This is amazingly weird. It's just kind of like...
Yeah.
Okay.
You can see the peanut butter and the jam.
Right there. Yeah. It does look like they stuck their tongue in there and licked it out. And then put it back in the bowl.
But the same kind of issue here, possibly.
These have been pulled apart, lifted and licked, and then placed back in there. Especially these two right here.
So they pulled it out, pulled it apart, licked it, and then put it back in the bowl. I'm trying to think what little critter would do that.
Well, you and I know one critter that would do it. I'm not sure. Have they ever taken your cookies before?
They have taken cookies before, but they're very unpredictable and sporadic. They'll take it, they won't. They'll take it, they won't. Now we had 4 molasses cookies in there. How many are in there now? 4?
4.
Yeah.
We had 6 fig Newtons. How many fig Newtons are in there now?
Can I lift it?
Yeah, go ahead. Just don't touch the bowl, so we don't put prints on the bowl. How many fig Newtons are in there?
Oh, look at this before I move it. So that one's been cleaned off on the edges there.
Do you see any critter marks, any critter teeth?
I see some kind of, that might be from your knife though. Was it a plastic knife you used?
Yeah, it was a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I see comb marks from the knife there.
But you don't see any bread, like critter marks eating the bread or...
Well, let me see. That's got an indentation on it.
Well, it's also a scoop up. You see how the bread is like on that end?
It's been pulled apart though. I mean,
Yeah.
if that bread was...
But it looks like it's been scooped with the finger this
Right.
direction.
Well, that's what you look at this when you see it. I mean, just as I'm holding it right now, this appears as though it was placed back in here pretty gingerly. Because if an opportunist that is a forager, they don't care about its opportunity to be ginger. It's just going to be eaten, scattered around here. And this is where Mike saw the apple get rolled.
Yep,
right?
yep. The apple was like 20, 25 feet down that way. And it wasn't rolled, it was placed there because there was no bruising, damage, scuffing of the apple. It was picked up and placed there. There were no teeth
how many
marks.
fig Newtons are we trying to find?
We had 6 fig Newtons. How many are in there now?
Like 6.
We had 10 Cheeto Puffs. How many Cheeto Puffs are in there now? We had 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5, so they ate 5 Cheeto Puffs. We had 8 sandwich halves in each bowl. How many sandwich halves are in this bowl?
Count this as 1/2.
In this bowl here?
Yeah. How many
1,
sandwiches?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. So they took 2 sandwich halves.
Let me count 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So they took 1 sandwich half and then they pulled this one apart and licked it clean
Yeah.
and then put it back in the bowl, right?
Is that how it was sitting?
No,
No, they
I
were all
placed it like that.
they were all wrapped around.
Yeah.
Okay, now we had 8 sandwich halves in this bowl. How many sandwich halves are there now?
Well, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. Okay, so they didn't. So we only have 1 sandwich half missing out of all 16, but we also have sandwich halves that have been, like, obviously licked. That one was licked, like,
Right.
Or maybe
Okay.
like a finger.
and that one was pulled apart in your hand and licked. So was this. We had 10 chicken crackers. How many chicken crackers do we have now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, these are halves here. 8, 9, and then 10, 11.
10, 11.
Well,
11?
it's
broken
it's
one.
been broken.
Well, broken.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 10 and one's been broken. Okay, so they didn't take any Fig Newtons. They didn't take any of the chicken crackers. They didn't take any of the hard-boiled eggs. They did take 5 Cheeto Puffs. They took 1 sandwich half, and they licked out the inside of several sandwich halves. You know, Toby Johnson,
Yeah.
knowing what you know about being out in the woods and with small critters,
Yeah.
does that look like small critters hit the bull?
No, it's not at all. It's not what you see when you leave food at a camp.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually in a hurry and constantly looking when they eat, so the crumbs are falling where they eat. You don't see any detail of any crumbs from bread. And it's not like, you know, they're going to avoid just eating their bread and just licking the peanut butter and jelly. They're going to go for it to work their way into it. And they're not going to be able to, if a deer did it, say a deer did it, take away the little critter here, let's go for a bigger one. You know, I think that this bread would have been lifted out of the bowl, or the bowls would have been pushed. You had those sticks
Yep.
laid right here.
Sticks
to
on the
measure-
back side of the bowl.
to measure the distance.
If the bowls got moved, and they didn't get moved.
And I would see sign of deer here. That's
about
the
the
biggest
Cheetos?
point.
And there's no sign of deer?
There's no sign of deer.
What about the Cheetos too? You wouldn't surgically pick out 5 Cheetos,
No, I mean you could lick it with, you know, as a deer and bring it to your mouth.
but 5 Cheetos.
But they were all covered, weren't they?
No, they were exposed, but there's no
food
deer
outside the
tracks
bowl.
around on the ground. And for the record, those of you seeing the bread on the ground there, Toby placed those there. They were inside the bowl. So there's no crumbs around the bowls at all. There's no deer hooves around the bowls.
Right. You know, I thought last night we got skunked. I really did. I thought, well, I'm the new guy in camp. They're going to check us out till they trust me or trust, you know, Matt's decision to bring an extra guy in here. But this tells a different story. This tells us something that looks like typical kind of sneaky, squatchy behavior.
Yeah. For the record, though, we did get skunked last night. Johnny Manson over here was farting all the time, right? Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Johnny. Confession is good for the soul. Now we have.
So that's what it is. I thought it was snoring.
You thought it was snoring. Well, no, he does both ends. He's a multitasker. Okay, so now
many comedians, so few microphones.
that's right. So, Johnny, do you want to do the pleasure of putting those gloves on for us, please? Since you have them, and I'm being the cameraman.
Okay, can you bend over and cough?
You got long fingers.
He's got long fingers. Yeah. Okay, so Johnny's going to lift up the bowls from the edges, and then we're going to blow on them, and we're going to look for any kind of prints. So, prints that were not there last night because these bowls were thoroughly clean. Now the bowls were not moved. So, oh, look right under the lid there.
Under the lid,
Well,
and
what's
then
that
right there.
Yeah. I guarantee you that the licking thing is the toddler thing. That
Yeah.
did not start happening until the toddler was introduced to the camp just a couple months ago. Prior to that, the juvenile female and the adolescent male would just take the sandwiches. Are we seeing any other prints?
I don't know. I'm
It's
not.
hard because the rain is
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
ruining the effect on the inside. The
Yeah.
outside.
The outside's better,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's covered more. So we've got maybe some little fingerprints on the outside of that bowl. Maybe.
Maybe.
Nothing conclusive.
They're not hooves.
Yeah, no hoof prints on the outside of the bowl. Okay. Not really interesting, yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
What do we
Yeah.
got right there?
Yeah. I see that pretty easily.
Let me get that picture. Okay, right there. Hold it. Awesome. Another one. Okay, keep going.
You're pretty good at that, Johnny.
Yeah. Johnny likes breathing on things.
Heavy breather.
He is.
Notice
Now whisper sweet nothings. to
Notice
me.
I was breathing away from your guys' faces.
Right.
Okay, you're welcome.
Whisper sweet nothings.
Yeah.
So not much, but we got some things.
Yeah.
Not conclusive, but definitely not deer hooves on the outside of the bulls, right?
Or lick marks. No
lick marks.
lick marks on the side of the bull. No crumbs. No sign of what I would think would be from the deer sign I saw over there. Would be coming up this what looks like a little trail.
Right.
That little streak, right? At your 12 o'clock.
Here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that does this way horizontally. Yeah.
That's
see
kinda
that.
interesting.
There's a streak,
Yeah, grease streak or
something.
Cool. Okay.
Definitely pushing the water.
So,
away,
gentlemen, we're going to be wrapping this up pretty quick because my battery's dying. So I'd like to hear from all three of you. What are your thoughts about what we found this morning and its correlation from last night's ambiguous activity? Which wasn't so ambiguous in my humble opinion. Anyway, go on.
what do you think? What you see?
similar activity to the night before, but a lot more of it. I'd say about 4 times
Right.
as much. So your theory about more activity is true.
More activity and more action at the bull the next morning. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm already over that it's another animal thing. So
You are.
I'm
Okay.
probably the most skeptic one here.
Okay. Okay.
Not a skeptic in the sense of that, but not a knower, just a believer.
Right.
In that sense.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else?
No, I'm hopeful that they keep it up. I would like to see this again amplified, and to have it 2 nights in a row without a crumb around here at all.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what you told me goes on.
Yeah.
This is what Mike told me goes on.
Yeah.
To see it, you get an idea that they keep themselves perfectly where they want to. If they're here, they're making very few signs of themselves,
Yeah.
and this could be evidence of it.
Okay, Johnny.
I've been kind of ruined because my first weekend out of the gate, it was just, to me, maximum activity. I don't know how it could get even any more active than them just walking into camp. So I'm kind of disappointed with the magnitude, because I want more, because I know there's more to be had.
You're just
But
a
it's still
glutton.
cool with the
Yeah.
minimal activity we've had.
You're a Bigfoot glutton. You want
Yeah,
more.
totally.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
heroin.
Yes, that's right. You
me
want more.
more.
You're going through withdrawals.
Yeah, totally.
You know what's funny? People watching this video go, dude, I would die to be there and just see this.
Yeah.
But you've seen more than this, so this is like, this is nothing.
Yeah.
This is nothing.
Right.
And I
Gentlemen-
want them to see it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Okay. Well, gentlemen, look here. Let's pose real quick. Look at the camera. Okay. Yeah. One and another one and one more. Okay. And then I personally would like to thank all three of you. Well, actually, instead of thank you, I just want to ask you, how does the Kool-Aid taste?
Fruity.
Fruity? You love that Kool-Aid, right? Okay.
Raised on it.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yep. Cool.